Boom. When your best friend buys a kettlebell, you give him a quick intro and a quick warm-up of a way to get started with it. So the first one, we're going to talk about goblet squat hold. So holding in both hands, hold by the horns, dropping into your best squat. Okay, in this position, you're going to want to push your elbows out on your knees, but also pull your knees in on your elbows. You're creating that two-way tension. And you can see as I'm loosening up, I'm able to get a little bit lower. Can I lengthen my upper body and kind of pry myself apart in all those directions? Really gripping the ground with your feet. Probably, you preferably be barefoot into this drill. From here, I like to push this guy into the ground, lengthen the legs out, rock forward onto the heels, onto the toes. So just going through ankle dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. You'll probably feel a lot of tightness in your ankles there. Then I go and I practice the hinge position. So in the hinge position, I'm still pushing into the bell as hard as I can, driving my knees out as hard as I can. My eyes are looking down the road. This is the foundation of your deadlift, your swing, whatever. I've got that nice flat back. I want to be in a really, really strong stance. Alpha gorilla right here. Then I want you to pull this right arm like a bow and arrow. Make sure the knees are still driving out to establish that base, and push in with that left hand. Once again, prying, disassociating your lower half from your upper half. Doing about 3 to 5 of these. You should feel that in your mid-back. Wake up, opening up your chest and your shoulders. After I do that, lengthen them out again. Back onto the heels, forward onto the toes. I do this about 5 times as well too. Practice rooting myself and grounding myself in the ground. Drop back into my best squat. That should feel a little better. Arms overhead, field goal. 5 overhead squats. Trying to get below 90. You can pull those arms back as far as you can. Boom. So prying squat, really good warm up. From there, Turkish get up rolls. I do this stuff just on one side because I got a bum wrist still. So you're going to get your left arm and left leg out at 45 degrees. Practice coming up onto your forearm. So you want to get up, elbow underneath shoulder, raise your chest, decelerate coming back down. Do about 5 of those, then you'll go to the next position. Here, pushing into the ground, creating torque, pulling your shoulder back, squaring your chest straight ahead. Then just go in here, making sure that position is good, strong, pushing into the ground again. 5 of these. Then from there, I'm gonna bridge. So can I pack this shoulder over the wrist? Squeeze my glutes as high as I can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay? You can also do bridges right there. So really what I want you to do is get comfortable in all of these positions before we're gonna ask you to Turkish get up. From here, can you leg sweep? Right? Creating space. This right knee is driving towards my pinky toe. Left knee is ideally in line with the wrist. Can I drop my butt back down towards my heel and still pry that hip forward? You can practice your angles in there. That's gonna give you a big stretch in your hip flexors and allow your squat and hinge to improve. So getting used to that position as well as springing up from it. So this is a heck of a warm up. Now imagine this with 50 pounds over your head. Okay? And you can come all the way up. So that'll give you at least a little something to work with for the Turkish get up. Next exercise I want you to get good at is a kneeling halo. So squeeze your glutes as tight as you can, stand as tall as you can, bring those arms around the world. So no neck movement, glutes are literally squeezing like you don't want anything to get out of there, chest staying as tall as possible, neck staying long as possible. The only movement comes through your shoulder blades and thoracic spine. Everything else is locked in glute. So kneeling halos, I want you to get used to that guy as well. Other base position is just the deadlift. When you do a kettlebell deadlift, this will be the foundation of your swing. I like to line up the bell with my ankles to start, so I get used to that kind of drive back in that swing. So pull it apart. You can see the difference when I get here versus when I pull it apart and I engage my lats. Is my neck as long as possible? Are my knees driving out? Are my big toes down? Standing up, basically hip thrusting forward. On the way back, nice and slow, decelerating, making sure those angles are again. I like to reset every time. because that's going to become the foundation of your swing. Because your swing, you come from back here to standing up. So I don't even want you to mess with swinging yet until you've kind of grooved your hips open. That's another good one. Every time you start and stop a swing, bell starts in front of you, comes all the way back to your butt, power up, back here. So this is a dead stop swing. We'll work you up to doing this as well. Okay, just one more quick one, just the idea of a goblet squat. So if we're gonna clean this thing from the ground, get to those good deadlift angles, clear the hips, and catch. So this is a squat clean. Think about back to, we used to do hang cleans, get underneath the bar, drop as low as you can. Practice getting into that sub 90 there, and then getting that hip back in that hinge there. So the biggest difference is your upper body staying tall, and that's gonna engage a little bit more your abs, your core. Keeping it simple, just a goblet squat, coming straight down. Coming down nice and slow, knees driving out, big toes. Can I get sub 90? You can keep that simple, about 5 reps, 5-second holds. Gives you stuff to start.